What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So the debt ceiling crisis has been averted. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. This is good news. However, there's some bad news to talk about too, and we're going to discuss both of these things. But first off, on this channel, we talk about news that matters. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this, and let's look at the headline here from the Associated Press. Default crisis dodged for now. Now that's the important part there. For now, with Dems and GOP debt accord. And so we're looking at a situation right now where it looks like they're going to extend the debt ceiling until December, early December. Now, the interesting part about the early December is that is when the expiration for funding the government. It's going to be around that same time, if not on the same date. I think it's December 3rd. I think they're both on December 3rd. So the situation that we just discussed the last couple of weeks when it comes to funding the government and the debt ceiling, that's going to happen all over again in December. And so they're just kicking the can down the road. And this is a problem because we saw the stock market today. We saw how the stock market reacted. It was a very green day. It was positive because the debt ceiling was going to be extended. But now we're going to be looking at the same situation in December where you have funding for the government and the debt ceiling. And so realistically, you might be moving forward, but we're going to be in the same situation in 2 months. And that's the bad part about this. We keep doing this. Instead of handling the situation so we can move forward, we handle the situation just for a couple of months, and then we have that same situation all over again. And that's just horrible because that shows instability. So now corporations are going to look at this and say, well, in a couple months, we could be in the same situation. And people who are receiving money from the government, you're talking about people on Social Security, you're talking about the military, you're talking about a variety of different people who are receiving their paychecks from the federal government. And at the worst time in December, right before the holidays, we're going to be looking at a situation where this could potentially happen again. So you have all these people who are relying on the federal government. We're talking about people who work for the federal government, like I said, military, people on fixed income. They're all going to be looking to the government. Are we going to be in default? Are we going to be in a situation where we're not going to fund the government? So this is just, this is the government that we have, but this is not appropriate behavior. This is something that should not be accepted. And that's why I always tell you guys, look, if you have issues with how your politicians are doing, make sure you're contacting them and make sure you hold them accountable when there's an election, because this is unacceptable behavior. I'm glad they extended the debt ceiling because it would have been a disaster if they didn't. However, extend it for a year. That was the plan. The plan was to extend it until December of 2022. At least that will give you enough time. It'll get us past the election cycle. But now we're looking at a situation where it's only a couple of months. And so we're going to be doing this all over again. We're going to be having the same discussion all over again. One good thing that I can see out of this, or I'll say another good thing, at least they were able to extend it. So at least you have Democrats and Republicans coming together, even if it's only for 2 months, that's a good thing. But also now the Democrats can focus on that reconciliation bill. They can focus on that, get that through the Senate and get it through the House, and then they can move both bills forward, the infrastructure bill, the first infrastructure bill, and the reconciliation bill. So that's good news. At least they can focus on that now because there was a lot of focus on the debt ceiling the last week. So now hopefully they can get things done. However, the House is on recess right now, so the Senate looks like they'll take up the debt ceiling issue. They'll take that up first, and then I don't know if they're going to call the House back. Maybe they should call the House back so they can come back and vote on this, is the debt ceiling as well, so we can get that moving forward, because they had until October 18th. So some stuff needs to happen. So it looks like they'll probably call the House back. And this is another thing, another issue that I have, recess. Why do we keep hearing these politicians going on recess? This is ridiculous. We need to get things done. You have that big reconciliation bill that needs to be addressed. You have the debt ceiling thing that's been talked about the last week, and you have half the chamber on recess. So I just wanted to put that out there to you guys and just let you know, yes, this is good news. Definitely good news about the debt ceiling. However, in a couple of months, we're going to be talking about the same thing. We're going to be going over this again. And that's the real bad part about this whole situation. However, at least the Republicans and the Democrats were able to come together. Even if it's only for 2 months, they were able to come together so we can move forward when it comes to this debt ceiling. And then we're going to have to see where it goes in December. The worst time for us to be talking about this, but nonetheless, at least we're going to get that far. I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about government right now? This is just not the way government should be functioning. And I was listening to President Biden a couple of days ago, and he was speaking, and he was just talking about the democracy and how democracy moves slow. And sometimes that's good, but sometimes that's also bad, because it could be a situation where you need to get something done right away. Just like when we had the pandemic last year, things need to get done. In certain situations, things need to get done fast. We don't have time to have this bickering back and forth between parties. We just need to get things done. And sometimes in a democracy, you're looking at a situation where we want to hear both sides. We want to have a majority vote and all this. But sometimes that could be detrimental because you can't move forward fast enough. And that's one thing that we need to start focusing on when it comes to our politicians. You need to work for us to get the job done. And this bickering back and forth needs to stop, because that is just slowing down this process, and people are suffering as a result of that. So I want to know what you guys think. So let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.